We are going to walk through how to create a collection on Tverza, how to group a collection, and how to model a collection on Tverza for seamless transactions and business activities. What is a collection? A collection is a flexible container where users can group both items and logistics for organizational purposes. A collection is like a storage, a container that stores products and logistics providers that you want to deal with. To visit the collections page, click on the collections icon. Now on the collections page, we are going to create a collection. Like I said, a collection is like a storage or a container that stores products that you want to buy and logistics providers that you want to deal with. Click on the create collection button. Click on the create collection button again. Now there are two types of collections. There is the single collection, which is for personal use, and there is the individual to individual collection. This is for a group of individuals who are each operating on their personal accounts that want to collaborate with you and do business or make a purchase together. On this example, we are going to go with single collections for personal use. Click on the single collection as the type of collection we want to create. Depending on your use case, you can go for single collection or individual collection. Remember, individual to individual collection is for a group of individuals who are operating on their personal accounts to collaborate and do business together with you. Once you're done selecting the type of collection you want to create, click on the next button. It says your collection has been added. Then, once your collection has been added, now the next thing is to add product and logistics providers to your collection. Click on the search bar to search for products. Now here is the iPhone 16 searched for. To add this product to our collection that we've created, there is an add to collection button at the bottom of the product card, which is under the price of the product. Click on the add to collection button. Then you are going to see the collection that you just newly created. For this example, this is the collection we just newly created. Select that as the collection we want to add this product to and click on add to collection. With that, the item has been added to the collection. Let's add one more item to this collection. Okay, click on the add to collection and select our collection that we created and add it to it. That is done. Let's add one more battery. Click on the add to collection again. select the collection we just created and click on the Add to Collection button. Once that is done, we have added the number of products we want to purchase to our collections. Now all that is left is the logistic providers we want to work with in our collection. Remember, a collection is like a storage or a container that stores products that we want to buy and logistics providers that we want to work with. Now we have saved the products in our collections. Let's find logistics who are going to handle these products for us. Under logistics, we want to select a logistics provider that is going to be a user. In other words, a user that is going to act as a logistics provider for our products and items that we want to purchase. So under logistics, I click on user and then I search by username. I enter the name of the logistics provider and I click on the search button. I select the logistics provider I want to work with and I click on the Add to Collection button to add this logistics provider to my collection. I am adding this user who is going to be acting as a logistics provider to my newly created collection. I'm going to add him to this recent one that we just created. He has been added. Let's add one more logistics that we want to work with. Now also add him to the collection and click on the Add to Collection button to add him to the collection. Now that we have the number of products we want to purchase and the number of logistics we want to work with in our collection, the next thing is to go to our collections page and try and work to group the collection and model it. This is the new collection we just created. To see the modeled collections, click on the View Modeled Collections button at the top. To see unmodeled collections, click on the View Unmodeled Collections at the top. Now, the collection we just newly created will be under Unmodeled Collections. So with that, we click on our collection card, which you can see the time it was created and the type of the collection, which is single. Click on it. Now it's going to take you to a page where you are going to see all the items and every single thing that is contained in this collection, and you can remove them from the collection. As you can see, the number of items at the top says 5. The iPhone, the Trojan battery, the regular battery, and you can see the 2 logistics providers at the bottom. To go ahead to model this collection, click on the model collection. And it brings you to the modeling page where you see a button that says to create new group. This is where you group the items in your collection. What is grouping? Users can group items and logistics in their collections based on their preferences, such as by product type, location, or delivery phase. An example can be grouping Apple and Samsung products separately with specific logistics for each of them. So in this case, once you click on the create new group, in a scenario like this, a user may want to create a separate group for the gadget, which is the iPhone 16, and another group for the batteries and the different logistics for handling the batteries. Click on the add member to add an item to your group. In this group, we are just going to add the gadgets, the iPhone 16, and the logistics provider I want to handle the gadget. In this case, that will be Tverza. Once you are done adding items to your group and logistics, click on the save group button. Note, a group cannot be saved until it has at least one item and one logistics provider. Once that has been sorted, click on the save group. The group has been saved. That is group 1. Let's create another group for the batteries. Mind you, grouping is done based on your preferences. Your preference can be to add the phone and the batteries in a single group. But for this example, I want to use 2 groups. For the second group, group 2, let's add a member to the group. We're adding the 2 batteries and the logistics provider who is going to handle these batteries, Divine. Click on the save group button to close this group. Once you're done creating your group, click on the model group to model each item and each logistic provider in each group. Now, what is modeling? Users can assign specific logistics to specific items for better handling, like what we did. An example use case can be assigning different logistics for fragile items like ceramics and electronics. Users can also break down deliveries into stages with different logistics providers for each stage. An example can be using one logistics provider for international shipping, another logistics provider for interstate delivery, and the final logistic provider for local delivery. All this and more can be done within the modeling of a collection or the modeling of a group within a collection. To do that, click on the model group on group 1. Now, this is the first item, the iPhone 16. If you hover on it, if you touch it, you are going to see the name of the item, the iPhone 16. To select the next person who is going to handle the iPhone 16, the next person in your supply chain command that you want to handle the iPhone 16. In this case, it's going to be a simple delivery. We just want the logistics provider to pick up the iPhone 16 and bring it to my current location. So I click on the iPhone 16 and it says select node for iPhone 16, and the only logistics provider I have for this iPhone 16 is Tverza, and I click on Tverza, and Tverza has been linked to the product. This means Tverza is going to pick up the product from the product seller. Now let's model the second group also. On the second group, we have 2 items, the Trojan battery and the regular battery. I want the Trojan battery to be passed to Divine. I want Divine to pick up the Trojan battery. And I also want Divine to pick up the regular battery. So I will click on the regular battery and I will click on Divine. Now Divine knows he has to pick up both batteries. These are many more complex modeling can you do in your collection, all according to your preference. Once you're done modeling, you click on the next button. Let's start with the next button on group 1. With the next button on group 1, what is the pickup location? You select the pickup location, which is where the logistics provider is going to pick up the iPhone from the product seller. The expected drop-off time. You set the date you expect the iPhone 16 to be dropped off by the product seller. Now the next person is a Tverza. You are to set an expected delivery location for a Tverza, which is this case is going to be my current location. You are to select an expected drop-off time when you expect this logistics provider to drop off the item, which is the iPhone 16, and the expected collected time, which is the time you expect the logistics provider to retrieve the item from the product seller. Once you're done with that, you click on the Finish Modeling button. You do the same for group 1 and group 2. And once you're done, you click the Finish Modeling button. Now once you're done, the collection is no longer going to appear under unmodeled collections. The collection has been modeled, so now it is going to appear under the modeled collections. Now to see the modeled collections, you click on the View Modeled Collections button at the top of the screen. Voila, we can see the collection we just modeled. This is the collection we just modeled, as well as the time that we created it. Now opening the collection folder, you can see each item, and we can see this chat icon by the side of each member of this collection. We do not see it near the product, and that is because whenever a product seller decides to make an item negotiable, the negotiation icon appears beside the item in your collection. Clicking on the negotiation icon takes you to a chat room between you and the seller, a negotiations room that is closed off from every other user other than you and the negotiation party. And also anyone involved in that collection. As for the logistics, all logistics providers are negotiable. They can all be negotiated with. Every logistic provider is negotiable. With that, we'll come to the end of collections.